When the Cocos fire raced through the hills of San Marcos a year ago today, Dan Eubank's 4,000 square foot home was among the casualties.
We lost 32 years of our life, really. We built the home in 1981, 82, and we'd worked on it for every minute of every day up until right before the fire.
The 64-year-old retired architect and carpenter and his wife Susan Eubank were at their Coronado Hills home that afternoon when they first saw smoke in the distance.
I called 911 and they took my information. And I said, there are no fire trucks, no sirens, no sheriffs, nothing. But the fire is raging up here.
They spent 3 hours trying to protect their property.
We had a fire hydrant, fire hose about 300 feet, and we wet everything down during that interim period, hoping that it would save it. But the fire was so ferocious.
And fire crews had not yet arrived when the flames closed in. Eubank says they evacuated with just the clothes on their backs. A video he shot captures the emotion of the moment.
Goodbye, house. Goodbye, 30 years of my life. Thanks a lot. Thanks a hell of a lot, fire department.
And we went to the bottom of the hill and watched our house burn overnight. Then we watched it. That was Wednesday. We watched it burn on Thursday. We watched it burn on Friday. It took 3 days for my house to burn down. Nobody ever stopped here to put any water on it.
The experience was surreal.
We held on to the thought that we could come up here and sift through the ashes and find my wife's grandmother's jewelry, that sort of thing. It doesn't happen. There is nothing left. It melts everything.
He says he's cried just once when his 3 kids and 7 grandkids arrived to see the devastation.
Because they grew up here, and the grandkids, I'd made it kind of like a fantasy land for the kids, and I had zip lines and swings and all kinds of stuff.
He had also built 27 other houses in the hills that border the city of San Marcos.
3 at least burned to the ground.
The Eubanks are rebuilding their home. Wooden beams and plywood outline the new 2-story structure. It remains surrounded by acres of charred land and splintered trees, new this time as a fire bunker, in case they ever need to take refuge again.
It's made out of concrete, and the first thing I put back, and it's only 7 feet wide, 20 feet long, and that's where we're sleeping at night.
Eubank says his insurance is only covering about half of his rebuilding costs.
Insurance is a little tough because I have California Fair Plan, because when they had the '07 fires, our insurance was canceled, even though we weren't anywhere near. So the only option I had was to sign on with the state of California, and they have a kind of a bare bones policy.
Still, he and his wife started their rebuilding project with a lot of enthusiasm.
Thinking, well, we've done it before, we can do it again. And I thought each day would get easier, but actually each day gets harder. Physically, it's taken a real toll on my wife and I. And if it weren't for my great neighbors that helped me, we would have probably given up.
Eubank is disabled and can only lift about 10 pounds, so much of the heavy lifting is done by a handful of his devoted neighbors who spend several hours every day helping to construct the home, piece by piece, like Wayne Veris.
He built our house, and so I've known him for a very long time.
Veris, a retired college dean, says he vowed to help Eubank rebuild the night he watched his friend's house disintegrate in the flames.
This hill, if you look around, you'll see his fingerprints on many, many homes. He's helped many of the families on this hill. And so anything we can do to give back to them really is what we were thinking. It's not about us. It's really about trying to help him out as he's helped all of us his whole life.
Eubank says progress has been slow, but he's hopeful the house will be completed by next year. Susan Murphy, KPBS News.